Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Ken Knows Gambling. Thank you so much for just sharing part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. Today, we're going to do a little Texas Hold'em. And I know when I very first started doing this channel, I told you all the games that I was going to actually get into. And Hold'em was one of them. It's just taken me so long to get to it. And I really do apologize to everybody for the long delay. But it just seems like there's about two games. Craps, it just seems like everybody wants to know craps. And everybody wants to know, craps. That's what they want to know. But I've been doing sports and baccarat and blackjack. But a lot of those other games are very basic how I play, and there's not a whole lot to go into some of them other ones. So unless somebody asks me a specific question or wants me to do something specific at a blackjack board or roulette or whatnot, I'm leaning towards the craps. That just seems to what everybody wants in sports. So I've been doing that. But alas, we're here because I told you I would do Hold'em. Now, here's the caveat to this. This is the basics of Texas Hold'em. So all you boys and girls out there, if you've ever even been to a casino and played Hold'em, you're probably beyond the basics and you've already got a grip for the most part on this game. So feel free to just not watch me. Now, I hope you do. Just watch me because you love me. I'm just telling you, it's all the basics. So if you don't want to, I don't blame you. But go ahead and kill me then. This is for the folks that need this video. So that's what I wanted to do. There was an old TV show that said, you asked for it, back in the 50s. So you asked for it, you get it. So that's what I'm going to do. Hey, listen, if you like this video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you know anytime I drop a new video. But as always, and always will, the best thing that you can do for me is share this video. Share this video to anyone you think this might help. All right? With no further ado whatsoever, let's get into it. All right, everybody. Welcome to the table. And like I promised you, I'm just a little late on the Hold'em, but this is the basics. And if you skip my intro, you really know how to play Hold'em very well. You can watch it, and I appreciate you hanging along. But this is actually for the beginner, somebody that don't really know what's going on. So I wanted to explain some things, okay? So the first thing you got to understand, this is poker. And if you don't know poker hands, then you're in trouble. I would say bail out, go learn poker hands, learn what beats what before you try a game like this, okay? So as long as you've got poker knowledge, we're in good shape, okay? So you sit down at the table. There could be 10. I think this one right here has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots plus the dealer. And so it's played with a regular deck of cards, 52 cards. Everybody gets 2 down, okay? And then they start doing a flop, a turn, and the river, and I'll get into that here in a second. I want to explain what these buttons are, okay? This is the dealer button. And it will pass from person to person to person. And then they'll rotate who gets the first hand first and all, and I'll show you. But the dealer. So then you have what's called the small blind. Okay? And next to the small blind is the big blind. Okay, so what that is designating is this. The dealer just lets the dealer, first of all, know whoever's to the dealer's left, who's going to get the first cards, okay? Now, the small blind, I have a $1 chip here and a $2 over here. What the small blind represents is a bet. Okay, it represents a bet. In this case, $1. So when you go to these hold'em tables, you could have $1, $2, 2, 4, 3, 6, 5, 10, all sorts of different games on money wise. But each game will have its own big blind, little blind. So I'm just using $1, $2. It could be 5, 10. Doesn't matter. The big blind is always going to be double. $1 to 2, 2 to 4. What it represents is the small blind represents the bet. The big blind represents the raise. Okay? Because the reason why they have to do it this way is because there's going to be a lot of people folding. Here's one game that you only have to put money on the table when you're either the small blind or the big blind. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. They don't have to put any money on. Now, of course, everybody's looking at their two cards. The big blind represents the raise, so this fella has to look at his cards, and he has to decide if he wants to call that raise. The $1 was bet, the $2 is a raise, and again, that's automatic, okay? And we'll see as we pass it along. So he has to decide whether he wants to call that $2, raise that $2, or fold. That's this first guy's decision. So let's go ahead and flip his cards, and we'll sort of learn as we go. He has a queen and a 4. Remember, there's only going to be 5 community cards, and you have 2, and your best of 5. Remember, these 5 are for everybody, and it's what kind of poker hand can you make from these 2 and these 5. All right. Well, a queen 4 is crap. Now, folks, you're going to see people stay in on anything. And to me, that's just stupid. Okay? They're river rats. They want to hoping they get lucky. But in the long run, they're just going to get drained and they're going to get beat. Okay? So, like a queen 4, no way. No way is he going to call that. I don't care if it is only $2. I don't care. It's crap, you're going to lose. All right, so you fold. Then it comes to this fella. He goes, now of course you're not showing nobody. This is, you keep them, you've seen it on TV, you keep them tightly vested. He goes, oh, I've got a king, jack, suited, and suited in clubs, but also it could be a straight. So jack to a king, it's definitely could be a straight. So he's going to go, I guess, well, I didn't get any chips, but he's going to call it. He's going to call the $2, okay? Then or he raises, okay? Maybe he raises $2 because he's got a good hand. Well, then it's up to this guy. What's he going to do? So he flips his card. He's got 2, 3 of hearts. Now, I set all these up on purpose, y'all, just so you know. And I wanted to show there's a lot of people that'll stay on a 2, 3 of hearts or 2, 3 of spades or whatnot. I will not. And I'm going to tell you why. Yes, they're suited. Yes, you could get 3 more hearts up here to make a flush. But so could somebody else. And you only got a 3. The chances are if somebody else catches a flush, having a higher than a 3 are 100%. Okay? So even though I have 2, 3, I could get a 4, 5, 6, I could get 3 more hearts, it's still a weak hand to me. Now, I may get some comments and go, oh no, Ken, you're wrong. No, I'm not. I'm what's called a tight player. Tight. That means if I have something, I'll swing at you. If I don't, I'm just going to get out of the way and let these other knuckleheads swing at each other. That's me. I'm called a tight player. You have people called loose players. They'll play on anything. It don't matter what they got. They'll just raise, and they just don't know what the hell they're doing. They just out there throwing money. They're called loose players. And then you have the people that are in between. I'm sort of in between. I'm very tight. I'm very conservative, but every blue moon I'll bluff just to keep them off guard. But I wouldn't stay on the 2-3. I just wouldn't. So we would fold this one. Then this guy, he has an 8-9. Now we're getting sort of into the middle now. He has an 8-9 offsuit, but it could stretch. 8-9, 10, Jack, Queen. It could stretch to a straight if he got the right cards, but still, it's sort of the middle of the road. This is a iffy. I still wouldn't do it more than likely. It just depends on what's going on and who is playing. Because if you remember the movie The Rounders with Ed Norton and I want to call him Jason Bourne, that fella, and John Malkovich, and he says, well, if you don't know who the sucker is in the first 20 minutes, it's you, okay? If you haven't seen the movie Rounders, please go watch it. It's a really, really, really good movie. But let's just say he stays. I wouldn't. I still think it's weak, all right? Then we're going to go to this fella. Uh-oh. That's what you hear. Pocket aces. You're going to get a raise here. Plus, this guy is the hammer. Why do we call him the hammer? Not because he has a pair of aces. He's the hammer because he's got to see, of course, we know there's a bet, there's the raise. He's got to see everybody else make a play first. So he sort of gets a feel for what everybody's got. He's the hammer. So even if he doesn't have anything, it's a good bluffing spot over here. So anyway, he calls, raises, whatever he's going to do. Then this small blind gets it. He's got an 8-4 garbage. And then the big blind guy, of course, this guy, it's either call the 2, or fold. But if these people were raising, then when it gets to the small blind, he has to pony up all the money or get out. Well, he had garbage. So he's out. The big blind guy, Queen 5, I ain't staying. Garbage. Okay? So basically, the only people are left is this guy with the King Jack suited, this guy with an 8-9 offsuit, and the guy with the bullets. All right, so then the dealer takes the cards. They burn one, and then they flip 3. Now, all of a sudden, instead of having just 2 cards, you have 5. Just like that. So now you had a Jack, King of clubs, and you were hoping for some help. It did not come. The help didn't come. Now you do have a Jack, Queen, King, but remember, there's only 2 more cards coming. Okay? So, and you need 2 cards to get a straight. The possibility of you getting it is just not going to happen. So when you watch that movie Rounders, it's still all about playing the man, playing the person. And that takes years, folks, years to learn people's ticks, what their tells are. It just takes forever. So we're just going to assume you can't do it. So we're now only going to go on what you have. But it's up to you first, okay? These guys have folded. Now it's on you. Well, what do you want to do? Bet? I mean, you're not very strong. You can check, or you can bluff your way through it and make somebody else think you've got something. But you're going to make a check or a bet. This guy that has an 8-9, he didn't get any help either. Okay? So Mr. Weak over here is now even weaker. So if he calls any raise, I think he's stupid, but let's just say he stays. Then Mr. Bullets over here. What does he got? He's got a pair of bullets. Now, he doesn't know if this guy has 3 queens. He doesn't know if he has 2 diamonds for a flush. He doesn't know. But as he gets a feel for people and reading the people, he'll know. But he still has a pair of aces. Plus, he has 3 diamonds. He could catch a flush, but he's still working on the fact that he's got the most powerful 2 cards there is right at the moment. So let's say he raises, all this money is going into the pot. Then the dealer burns a card, and you get what's called the turn. This is the flop. That's called the flop. Then the turn. Okay, there is one more card coming. All right, now it comes back to this guy. Well, what does he have now? He has a pair of kings. Not only has a pair of kings, the king is the highest card shown on the table, so he knows he has high pair. High pair. Clubs didn't help. He don't have anything but a pair of kings with a queen jack. So jack, queen, king. He can now not make it straight. The only thing he can do is get 2 pair on this last card, or maybe get another king. But it's enough for him to hang in there. The guy with the 8 and 9, he should have got out last time, and now he really should get out because he just got jumped, so he's out. Now it's these 2 fellas, and the pair of aces still goes, I have the top pair. Now, of course, these would be down. Nobody would know nothing. There's the art of poker right now. We don't know he has aces, and he don't know he has kings. Nobody knows this. So now the betting is really going to start. This is where you have to be careful. If you think you got this guy and you've looked at all the cards and you're thinking, well, what could he have? I know I got kings, so I know he don't. I know he don't because I got 2. There's 3 there. He can have a king, but that's it. So you're going, well, does he have those aces? I don't know. Does he have a 4, 6, 7 of diamonds? 4 or 6 in here? I don't know. Now that's what's called playing the man. That's why I want you to play tight. Okay? In the very beginning, just play tight and conservative until you get a feel for this game. Okay? So let's say they both bet, they both hang. Dealer then burns 1 more, and this is called the river. The last card. Now you're going to have bets from Kingdom Come, okay? So, looking at this fella, he only has kings. He's actually fairly weak because there's a 3, 4, 5 sitting there. There's a king, queen there. So we know the guy can't have a high straight because there's just with these 2 cards, he can't. But he damn sure could have a low straight. He could have an ace and a 2. He could have a 6 and a 7. So now it's who believes who. This guy is weak, just with kings. But if he doesn't have anything either, maybe he can bluff him out. So he raises, or he makes a bet just to see what he's going to do. Well, this guy sitting here goes, well, I don't know if the guy's got a pair of kings in here or not. I got aces, but he could have 3 kings. You see how all this mind stuff is going? He could have this. He could have the straight. He missed his straight by 1 card, but he still has aces. So now he's got to figure out, does he believe the guy has 3 kings? Or does he believe he has a small straight? If he doesn't believe it, then he whacks him. He just raises. Then it's up to this guy to figure out whether he wants to hang with him or not. Okay? That's gambling. That's poker. But I am just here to show you the beginnings of it. You still have to learn your poker. You still have to learn to read people. You have to learn what to stay with, what not to stay with, what to check, what to raise. A whole lot of it that I can't even get into on this video because there's so much brain stuff that goes into this. But let's say the hand is over. There was a whole lot of pot of money sitting here. Okay, all the money is in, and the winner gets it all. What does the house get? Because we weren't playing the house. What does the house get? They get a percentage or a cut of the pot. That's what's in it for the casino. And when you have lots of tables going on and lots of hands, every hand they're raking money, they make a fortune. All right, so in this particular case, the hand is now over. Okay? So now the dealer is going to shuffle the cards, and while he's doing this, everything slides. So now this fella is the big blind. This fella is the small blind, and this fella is the dealer. So now, when this guy shuffles, and he gives him the first two cards, then him, then him, then him, then him, then him. Okay? Oh, and this is the dealer. Sorry. All right? So then it all starts all over again. Now, quickly, I'll just flip them just to see. Oh, he's got a joker. Well, jokers don't count. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. 6-9. What would you do? That's correct. You fold. You got junk. Okay? Of course, you have the bet, the $1, $2. I'm going too fast here. So there was the $1, there was the $2. Okay? And it wasn't even up to him yet, so I should back up. There's the $1, there's the $2. It's actually up to this fella. It was up to him first last time. Now it's up to him. It just keeps sliding. Let's just go with this guy first. He's got a 3-10. He's got crap. Okay? Unless he's a loose cannon and he's a bluffer, he's going to get out. Okay? So he's out. Okay? He don't want to call the $2. Remember, there's the bet. Big blind is the raise. Now you either have to call or fold. This guy goes, let's see. I got a 4 queen of hearts. I wouldn't stay just because the queen to the 4 won't reach. But if you got lucky and got some hearts, you'd have a high flush. But it's not enough for me. Because I have a philosophy, y'all. If your hand is good enough to stay, it's good enough to raise. And if somebody raises you and you're not willing to call that raise, what are you in there for? You have no business in the game, okay? But let's just, for argument's sake, say he's got 2 hearts. He thinks he's good with the queen. Okay, fine. So he calls the guy. Then it goes to this fella. He's got a king 3 offsuit. He's got junk, garbage, gone. Okay, then it's up to this guy. Does he want to call or fold? He's got a 2-7 of clubs. Let's say he's an idiot and he wants to say because he has 2 clubs. Now, me personally, I'm telling you fold if you see anything like that. Okay? Then it goes to this guy. 6-9, junk. Uh-oh, there's the bullets here. So he's going to call, possibly raise. And then Jack 6, junk. Okay, so we got 3 people in here. All right, here's the power. Right here. Okay? So, now this guy's gone. Money goes into the middle. All right, now it's this guy, and this guy. All righty? Now, if he raised and everybody calls, here we go. Burn, flop. Okay? Now let's see what everybody has. Remember, it still went this way. So now it's this guy because this guy folded. Okay? He's going to be last. Queen 4. He has a pair of 4s. It's not the bottom pair, but it's not the high pair. So let's say he just called. Boom, he puts his money in. Then it's up to Mr. 2-7. Well, Mr. 2-7 has a pair of 2s and 3 clubs. Let's say he's a chaser and he wants to hang with his low pair, which I would not do. But for this sake, let's say he does. I heard everybody got their money in there, and then he gets to Mr. King's, and he raises. He wants to see what everybody's going to do. But let's say everybody follows him. I'll call you. Fine. Lots of money in there. All right. Then the dealer burns. And here comes the flop. The flop. The turn. Uh-oh. So now we got 2 4s up here. So he has kings and 4s. He's feeling pretty damn good right now. This fella has 3 4s. he's really feeling good. Plus, what does he not see? He doesn't see 3 clubs out here. He doesn't see 3 spades. He does see 2 to straight, but there's nothing happening here. He most likely knows at this moment he's big dog. Yes, somebody could have 2 8s. He knows that he's got the 4, so nobody's got 2 4s, but maybe somebody else has a 4, but he thinks he'll high card him. You see all this mental thing that goes in? Anyway, Mr. 2-7 now has 4 clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's feeling froggy, and he's stupid, and he's just going to hang in there with a 7 high possible. He's got a 1 in 4 shot of getting the clubs. So you have to decide if that's what you would want to do. Okay? So, all the money's in. Here we go. Last card called the river. There's the burn. There it comes. All right. This is where the betting now starts. So, starts with this guy. What does this guy have? 3 4s and 2 2s. This guy has a full house. Now, it's a small full house, but nonetheless, it's a full house. He doesn't know that somebody else doesn't have 2 8s in a full house to beat his 4s. But let me tell you, full house is strong. You got to swing. You just got to swing. If you lose, you lose. But you're strong, you bet. Okay? So he's going to bet. He having no possible way. He did not hit a flush, but he has 3 2s now. 1, 2, 3. He's thinking maybe he has the best hand, and maybe he does. 3 of anything is pretty good. Okay, so he stays. Mr. King's over here says, well, I got a high pair and 2s. He is staring down the barrel of 2 4s and 2 2s. And the likelihood of somebody having at least 1 2 or 1 4 is high. So, but kings and 2s or kings and 4s, that's the high. That's sort of, you think that's great enough to stay, but in all cases, it's not. It just depends on what you think of how you read people. But let's say he stays. Well, who wins the game? By that guy. Okay? Now, I did this for a reason. You say, yeah, well, Ken, this guy won, and you would have folded. Yes, I would have. Sometimes the cards are in favor of stupid people. It happens. More bullet aces get beat off of stupid. And then, what if this guy would have had a 4 and a 2 offsuit? Worst freaking almost 2 cards you can have. But look what he would have ended up with. He would have still ended up with 3. He would have still ended up with a full house and beaten everybody, and he should have never been in there. So that's what you have to watch out for when you're playing. You got to figure out who those yo-yos are. Okay? But as you get better at reading people, all this will start getting better to you. Okay? So then, this guy wins all the money. Everything shifts. Okay? Bloop, bloop, bloop. Now, this guy's $1, this guy's 2. And it just keeps doing that over and over and over. Okay, y'all, so I know, there's still a lot for us to learn, but I can't teach you how to read people. Either you can figure that out or you can't. I can tell you what I would do as far as staying, raising, whatever, but just remember, today is just the basics. I wanted you to understand the dealer button, the small blind, the big blind. I wanted you to understand the flop. And I wanted you to understand the turn, which is the 4th card. And I wanted you to understand the river. I wanted you just to understand the basics. And at a later time, we'll get into more stuff. We'll get into a little bit more detail on what to hold, what not to, maybe when to raise, when not to raise, but not today. I just wanted to cover the basics. So there you go. As always, if you got any questions, email me, KenKnowsGambling.com, comment, whatnot, and I'll do my best to explain what I just did. Hopefully you got a better understanding now for those new for Texas Hold'em. You got a better understanding of what's going on. I don't think I've missed anything, but if I did, somebody will tell me, I'm sure. But anyway, listen, there it is for today. I told you I'd get to it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, be great.